Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome to Carla's Kitchen. Today we're going to do just a head start on the taco meat. We're having taco night tonight at the house, and I've managed to work a few minutes in my morning so that I can get the meat started. When I get off of work, all I have to do is separate the meat and the fat, and then get my shells out and any toppings that might go with, or any sides. And you know, if you're really pressed for time, just open a can of refried beans and heat it up, and you've got a pretty decent dish ready to go. Your family will be satiated. So left to right, the ingredients that we've got out. I do have water. I did not have any ready-made beef stock, so I've got the bouillon here. So I'm going to mix that with water. I've got chipotle seasoning, used sparingly as it does add a little bit of heat to the dish. I've got adobo seasoning. I've got salt and pepper, cilantro, lime, salt and pepper, and tahini. Tahini will also add a little heat, so again, use based on your and your family's taste. And lastly, I've got chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. And of course, the star of the dish is the meat. It is a chuck roast. So you're going to want to go low and slow with the chuck roast, but it makes really good taco meat. And this is, you know, doing yourself a little salad for the end of the day. The main protein of the dish will already be coming together. We're going to use a crock pot today. So first I'm going to start out by seasoning both sides of the meat, and again, going as heavy or as light as you like. It's up to you and your taste. I'm going to start with the chipotle seasoning and just sprinkle a bit about. We're going to rub that in a minute. I'm going to go with adobo. This adds more salt flavor. Salt and flavor to the dish. And we've got the cilantro, lime, salt, and pepper. And I'm going to add all of the seasonings and then rub them in, flip the meat, and repeat this process. And some tahini. And again, as heavy or as light as you like. You're going to want to get your hand in there and rub it in so the seasoning sticks to the meat, gets in there and flavors it while it's cooking. At the end of the day, when the dish is ready, it's going to be fork tender. You're going to pull it apart, separate out the large chunks of fat, and you want to leave those in there for cooking because they're going to add moisture and flavor. Okay, that's in there pretty good. A little bit of the seasoning has fallen off, but that's okay. We've got most of it mashed in, so I'm going to use my dirty hand, flip the meat over, and then repeat adding the spices with now my clean hand. Again, chipotle, heavy or as light as you like, adobo, cilantro, lime, salt, and pepper, and tahini. Now, if you don't have all of these spices available, you can do something as simple as like a fajita seasoning or a taco seasoning if you like. I just prefer to, you know, balance the flavors out. It's to my taste. You could also add some cumin if you like that. It's a pretty good flavor to get mixed in with your taco and your meat. And once you get that rubbed in pretty well, then go ahead and just place the meat. Actually, we're going to put a little bit of water in. A little bit of water so the meat doesn't stick to the bottom into the crock pot. And I'll move everything over here just a skosh so you can see. I'm not even going to pause today. We're just doing everything real time, so if you need to fast forward, feel free. Now I'm going to gently place the meat in because I've already added some water. And if you're worried about the meat sticking to the sides, you can spray the crock ahead with non-stick sprayer and oil. I'm going to just dump the rest of the seasonings onto the meat. And we're going to put a little bit of the bouillon flavor in, so it's not just plain water, it'll be beef flavored, so that'll enhance the flavor of the steak. I'm just adding this around the meat. I'm sorry, it's a roast, not a steak. Because I'm trying to flavor the water that's sitting around there. And it's just a little bit of water. Now there will be more juice when you're done cooking because the meat's going to let off juice, so I'm just adding enough water so that there's about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of water, about a 1/2 inch of water in the crock pot. And you can always use your finger to measure. You've got a dirty hand already that you need to wash when you're done with this. There we go. It's a good amount. And it all depends on the size of your crock pot, how much you need to add. And then the last step is open the can of chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, and the whole thing's going in right on top of the chuck roast. Get as much of that good sauce out as you can. Lightly spread it just a little bit so that most of the meat is covered. You want the peppers spread out a bit. I want to get that good flavor everywhere so that all the meat, because we're going to shred the meat at the end, so we want to make sure as much of the meat as possible is covered with the elements that add flavor. The final steps for now are going to be just the, I was going to say throw your lid on, but gently place the lid on and go over a low temperature setting. You do not want to cook a chuck roast hot and fast. It will be like shoe leather. But if you go low and slow, the meat is delicious. It will soak in all of those flavors, and it will fall apart with pressure at the end of the day. So get your meat started, go forth, have a great day, and when you get home, your meat will be ready to separate out and get your taco night off to a good start. Hello friends, and welcome back. We've had the crock pot going all day long, all during the work day, so now it is time to turn the crock pot down to warm. If you have a warm setting on yours, take the lid off and smell the delicious fruits of your labor happening. I'm going to pull the meat out. Sometimes it comes out all in one piece, sometimes multiple pieces. We'll see how it goes today. Looks like we might have multiple pieces. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it all out. And then if you've got a lot of juice left in your crock pot, I really don't have that much extra. I'm just going to leave it as is, but if there's too much juice and or grease, you can sort of skim the top and take some of that juice out. What I'm going to do is just remove the chipotle peppers. Now, if you like those, you can also cut them up and put them back in there. My family likes the flavor, but not really the whole pepper put into the meat. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off of the top there. And then I'm just going to commence to shredding the meat up, separating the fat out, and because it's been soaking in the wonderful juices all day long. See, we've got a chunk of fat there. We're going to pull that off to the side because nobody wants to bite into a mouthful of fat. And I'm going to go through and just shred everything up in whatever size pieces you want to use for your tacos. This is also great for make-ahead meat for fajitas, enchilada, anything like that. And what I normally do at this point is once I start, plate's only so big, so once I start getting some of the meat separated and shredded out, let's get a little bit more here in the pile, without fat preferably, and there's a chunk of fat I've got to have to remove. Then I'll go ahead and make some room on my plate by putting it back into the juices in the crock pot. And this will be twofold. The meat will continue to stay warm in there. It will be nice and juicy and flavorful. Because we only put the seasoning on the top and the bottom earlier, and now we're actually, the inside pieces of the meat that didn't necessarily get flavor to them earlier today will have a chance to soak up some of that flavor by going back into the juice in the crock pot. So I'm going to finish shredding up my meat, get it back into the crock pot, and I'll be right back. Alrighty folks, so we're back. I chose to remove the chipotle peppers. If you want to dice them up and throw them back in with the meat, have at it. That's going to add just a little more flavor and slightly more heat to the dish for you. And all the fat is left on the plate. And back into the crock pot we've gone with the shredded beef, and it is just getting flavorful, staying moist, and staying warm until we're ready to serve tacos. I will link in the description to another video I have of a make-ahead dish that pairs well with any type of Mexican dish, tacos, fajita, enchilada, anything like that. It's a make-ahead bean salad, so you can do that the night before. If you throw your meat in the crock pot in the morning, and then you just have to spend 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes to shred it in the evening, and that's one less major cooking off of your plate to have a nice taco night. So if you want to do Taco Tuesdays, more power to you. Otherwise, for me, I'm kind of reaching the spent point by Thursday, and I like to have Taco Thursdays at the house so that we can, have a nice hot meal. It's it's satisfying and filling, and it's kind of low maintenance in the work category. So since my tank's already starting to run on empty by the time we hit Thursday, I try to make the dish as easy for myself as I can. So if that means preparing the bean salad Wednesday night, throw it in the fridge, let the flavors marry up during the day while you've got your meat in the crock pot, and then you come home and two of the more complicated ingredients, your main protein and a nice side dish, are already ready for you. Then you can either just make some rice, or if you want refried beans in addition to the bean salad, go for it. Up to you, but just a time saver, and it's nice to have a nice hot meal sometimes when you get home from work. That doesn't take a whole lot of effort. So do try it out. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.